Hello, gorgeous souls. This is Leonie from leoniedawson.com, and I am here with the amazing Stephanie Hibiscus Moon from Hibiscus Moon Crystal Academy.
Hello!
And Stephanie is so adorable, and she was one of my very first private clients to work with, doing business illumination sessions and helping her to really create clarity and a massive amount of momentum in her business. So for people who don't know your story, can you please tell them how quickly your business transformed? Because I just think it's so funny and awesome.
Well, I mean, I was working really hard at this business. It wasn't an overnight success by any means. I had been working at this for over 3 years, but I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do. I was just kind of going with the flow and following along, and people would ask me, well, are you going to do this as a full-time business? And I was completely happy in my job. So I was like, no, whatever. I'm happy doing this on the side, the crystal things on the side. This is fine. And then, and I was starting to do classes. I got kind of a new idea and I started doing my crystal classes, but still it wasn't real clear to me that this should be my full-time path. And I don't remember, I think it was one of my students who introduced me to you. And the first thing that attracted me, funny enough, that I wasn't interested in all of that was the business goddess. It was an e-course, I believe, or was it the e-book?
It would be an e-course, yeah.
It was, yeah, e-course. And then when I saw that I could get the e-course plus the Goddess Circle membership for just a smidge more, of course, I said, oh, yeah, dived in full bore with that. And I fell in love with your energy and your just way of being and everything. And then I started, I didn't dive in right away with that e-course. It was a little bit interest there, but I was like, oh, I didn't have time just yet. But the more I learned about you through the circle and finding out who you were and what you did, the more interested I got. And I was like, wow, this is really cool. So then once I did start reading that course, oh my goodness, it was like somebody took a treasure box and opened it, and I was blinded by the light, just absolutely blinded. And I said, oh my gosh, people can actually do this. And all of these things, I don't know, it's like I'd seen them done before, but because they weren't done by people that resonated with me, it didn't resonate with me. And because you were doing it, and I just love your energy and the way you do things, the way you explained it so easily and matter-of-factly, and it was like, just do it like this, love, possum, whatever it was. I was like, yeah. So I just started, going, okay, yeah, we're going to do it like that. Okay. And I just started following everything step by step. Well, things just started falling into place once I started doing that. And my newsletter list started growing. You suggested giving like a little e-kit or something for people to sign up for the newsletter. So I went ahead and made one and did that. And people just started falling in line with it. I had a blog for years. I had a blog for, 4 years or something like that. But all of a sudden, something magical happened and it just went kabooey. It just exploded. And I honestly can't put my finger on one different thing that I did. It was just following along with what you were saying to do. And then when I found out you really quickly opened up a coaching session, I jumped on that bandwagon, boy. I was I was on all over that. So we spoke, and that phone call went down famously because, again, I took notes like a fiend. Everything that you said to do, I implemented. And my email list went, and I'm going to tell you right now because I checked it today for this phone call. At the time, it was 1,000 people, which I thought was wonderful. I mean, beautiful. And right now, I am almost at 5,000 people. Yeah.
Dude, that is awesome. Oh my God, because we really didn't talk that long ago. How long would it have been? 3 months, maybe?
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Wow.
And what was really amazing to me is I even, would have these conversations with some of my students that I didn't think there was that many people out there who were into crystal healing, you know, and that maybe I had found my tribe and this was my little tribe and this was going to be us and it was just going to be this big. And that was it. And I was happy with that. But I also started realizing that, yes, I do want to have this kind of life that you're always talking about, that you can, you know, be in the rainforest in the morning and at the beach in the afternoon. And I'm not there yet. We just spoke. I'm working a lot right now, but that's where I know I will be. And the tools to do that. And some people, you know, and even I was part of this mindset before. And you've spoken about this recently on your blog. Some people see it as somehow bad to have more people in your list and more people in your tribe. But first of all and foremost, people are so grateful, and I'm so grateful to them for finding me so we can all share all of this information and become happier because of it. And everybody become more empowered, so much more empowered. I mean, it's so empowering to know that my tribe was not just this big, that there's more people. And now I know that there's more than the people that I have now. I know they're out there. It's just a matter of finding them, and you've given me the tools to find them. So I'm so grateful to you for all of that, and I'm open to learning more, and all of this is just amazing. And I do this with you because I want everyone else out there to know this as well. And I know you're making this possible for everybody, that you don't have to live this life of, this is my big dream, but it's evil to go real big with it. No, it's not evil to go real big with it, because you're happy and making tons more people happy and empowering everybody at the same time. What can be wrong with that?
Oh, I'm crying. I'm literally crying.
No.
Just what your words, they're so perfect. Like about that tribe, you think your tribe's this big, and then you go, oh, hang on, it's this big, and oh my God, it's such mutual service here. We're just helping each other be so much more amazing. So yeah, oh God, it's so beautiful.
It is and it's really nice to know that there's nothing wrong with expanding and getting bigger and allowing your dreams to happen. There's nothing wrong with that.
Absolutely. And like, it's what we were here to do. Like, we weren't born with a big dream and go, here's your big dream, but please play small. Like what the?
Yeah, exactly.
Really?
And then, you know, you like the feeling of security and, you know, knowing that your bills are paid and you can eat and everything. Well, this is just a really great way to do that and live your dream and be happy playing while doing it. You know, whoever said your job can't be being happy and playing the whole time? Why not?
Really, really. So I know for you, like your transformation from full-time science teacher to full-time crystaller came very quickly. So how quick was it after that call that you were able to kind of replace your income and more and leave your full-time job?
Well, I was doing things a little bit differently because I just didn't know. And you gave me certain concrete steps and tips, which pumped the business up, not only just my email newsletter list, but the way I was doing things and the way I was running things. And I had the little, you know, nod in the back of my head, or the little nudge that I do want to do this full time, but I just didn't know how. You gave me the specific methods, and within 2 months, I knew that this was going to be my last year teaching. Whereas before we spoke, although I knew that's what I wanted, I didn't know how it was going to happen. And now I had the concrete steps, so I implemented them. And lo and behold, they worked. And just to be safe, I made sure they worked for a few months in a row. And then I went ahead and said, you know what, this is the best thing for my health, number one. And that's number one. If you don't have your health, what difference does anything else make? And I knew that this was the number one thing I needed to do for that, to maintain good health. And so I knew I needed to do it for that reason. I needed to do it to be happy within my spirit and within my soul, because all of a sudden, like I said, I didn't know at the beginning of the school year that this is what I wanted to do. It wasn't any burning desire that I had. It was just something I was doing on the side, and I was perfectly happy doing that until I ran into Leonie. And then I realized, no, this is your purpose. You need to be doing this. And I was like, yes, all your motivational speeches and the blog posts and everything really got me to the core and made me start really thinking everything over and realizing there's another way. There's another way to do things. And why not try it? You know, I can always go back to teaching, and one day I might. I love my kids, but right now I really feel this is my path. I don't know. I really don't think I will go back to teaching. Liberating and fun as this. I mean, I love my kids, but boy, nothing can top this. Nothing can top it all. If I want to take a 2-hour lunch, I can. I can do that if I want to. You know, there's nothing holding me back, and I can be barefoot, and I can still work. I did it yesterday. I went to the beach and did my videos. I had to do my videos for my channel. And that was one of the things I told my students about. I said, one of my things is I want to be able to do things in places that empower me. And the beach is real close here to me. So I go there, and I brought my camera, and I brought all my crystals and stuff. And I did my video there. And I was so grateful and happy while doing it, because this was one of my dreams that I had, and I actually blogged about it a little while ago, that I dreamed of myself being able to do this. And I said, I'm here. I'm sitting here. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm not in my fluorescent lit, windowless classroom with my tight black shoes and black socks on, just sucking the soul out of me. I'm at the beach barefoot with toes in the sand, getting wet with my crystals, and I'm working. I mean, yes, it's work, but you know what I mean. This is going to be working for me now, and I love it.
Oh, you even look so different from 3 months ago. Like, you look so different. You're just like clear and fresh, and just like you were gorgeous before, and now it's just like beauty a bazillion times more.
I've got a tan.
Is that what it is? It's the glow of the tan.
I certainly wasn't going to get a tan under the fluorescent lights in my classroom were making me gray, literally.
I love it. It looks like the lifestyle of an entrepreneur. It just suits you down to the ground. You were just beaming, my friend.
Oh, I love it. And Friday night, I did a live class, and I hadn't had the time to do a live class in a long time, and I just felt the need to connect with everybody. And I was so happy. I was sitting, cross-legged, barefoot on the floor in a wonderful energy environment, in a beautiful meditation space, and people around me, and we're sitting on pillows, and it was just so wonderful. And again, that was working. I mean,
I know, right? When I think about what I do for work, I'm like, oh, man, like it's a total dream come true for the little girl inside my heart. It's best fun ever.
Yeah, and I know I speak for so many people when I say to you, Leonie, that you have made this dream possible, not just for me, but I know for probably hundreds and hundreds of people around the planet. And I'm so grateful to you, because you really were the spark. You were the spark, because I don't know. I do know. I would still be teaching. I probably would not have ever had the thought of moving and doing things differently. And not to mention, I'm making more money now than I was teaching. And, money's never been a big motivator for me at all. But hey, that's icing on the cake, and I'm not going to turn it away, And I really, really can honestly say it was because of you.
Oh,
so thank you.
Bless you. I am so, I can't even talk. I'm just so happy and thrilled. Did you notice that by being mentored and having kind of shown the path by somebody who'd already done it, that it kind of cut out like years worth of like meandering around trying to work it out yourself?
Yeah, I probably still would have been doing the way I was doing things before, not noticing that anything was wrong with it, and still thinking that my tribe was this big, because I really thought in my head I had reached everyone who was into crystal healing. I was perfectly happy hanging out with them, and I still am. I love all you guys. I didn't know that things could be done differently. Um, and for those people that are out there that this is really that they know this is the path they want to take, you need to invest in yourself, because you have to remember that the amount of money they spend in a little bit of coaching is going to come back exponentially. I mean, because you're getting information and advice from people who've already been there, have already done it. You gave me things, like I said, I implemented every single one of them, and every single thing worked, just like you said it would. Just like you said. And you know what? Yeah, I was, a little hesitant, like, oh, I don't know if this is going to work. What am I thinking? I have no idea what was going to work. I have no clue. But I said, but she knows what she's talking about, so I'm going to go ahead and do it. And it's invaluable. That advice is invaluable. You need to get it from someone who knows, who's been there, who's done it, and knows what they're talking about. Why waste your time? Why think you've got to do everything yourself and you've got to learn it all yourself? And and let me say this. Before I contacted you, I did buy a few books. Okay. And I also bought a couple books after speaking to you, just because I thought, I don't know, it would help, some books like Book Yourself Solid, I think, was one that you had recommended. But it is nothing, just put the books away. Just talk to an expert. It is nothing like, it's not the same at all. You're not going to get that kind of information from a book. It's just not going to happen. Why? Because the book is not specific to you. The book is not specific to what I do. How was I ever going to find a book that was going to tell me how to run a crystal healing academy?
And to be able to kind of look, because I remember going through your website and going, this is what you need to change straight away. This is what's not working for you. This is what you need to shift around. And I mean, that's the thing. Books can't do that for you. You sort of have to filter through the information and try and apply it. But it kind of gives you that direction and that focus to go, yep, this is what needs to change right now. And let's just go for it, and all cylinders firing.
Yeah. You need to get the real zoned in specific information for whatever it is that you do. We all do something completely different than the other person. And so you really need something that is customized for yourself. And no book is going to do that. So save the money on the books and, get yourself somebody who's been there and done that.
Agreed. One thing I wanted to talk to you about as well, like as your money container kind of expands, do you kind of feel yourself becoming a different kind of custodian for money? Do you see yourself kind of glimpsing possibilities of how your life could be if it wasn't just about paying the bills?
Well, like I said, I've never been, okay, here's one thing. I find myself more open to hiring help. And because I'm more open to doing that, I'm able to do more things. Whereas before, I might have been more inclined to do it myself and take it on myself. Now I have no problem saying, you know what, I need to find an expert in search engine optimization, marketing. And, I think, can you still hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yeah? Okay. I saw a little blip there. Okay, sorry. So I'm much more open to, of course, researching the people, but finding the people to do certain things. And I'm not as tight with the money anymore. So I'm like, okay, I need to have someone do this for me. I need to have someone do that for me. I've hired 2 people on board to help me, a virtual assistant and a tech princess, I call her. And they're helping me take care of all those things because it's impossible for me to do it all. Especially now that my student body is growing so much larger now, and which is exciting and wonderful, and I love it, but I need to focus on my number one priorities is helping them with specific questions. And if I'm bogged down in search engines and PayPal and all of this stuff, then I don't have time for my students. So now I'm okay with giving that to other people and paying other people to do all that stuff for me. So that's a change that I've noticed.
It's a beautiful change, and it means that you become such you are able to help other people live their dreams, so that they can become freelancers. Like, I just see money as this incredible freedom opportunity. Like you can bestow gifts upon others, you know, like of employing them to be a part of your business so that they can stay at home, so they can kind of have the life that they love as well. It's so incredibly amazing, and I know that you're going to keep going through these massive shifts, and it's going to be like energetic healings for you the whole way.
It's exciting. It's really exciting. I'm in the middle of a transition right now of getting used to that. And on Sundays, a ritual that I used to have, and it used to take me a couple of hours, was couponing and going through online things and couponing and everything. And I sat down to do it last Sunday, and my husband said, "What are you doing? You're spending like 2 hours, 3 hours working out coupons." He's like, "Just go to the store. You don't need coupons anymore." I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's right." So it's going to take me a little bit to kind of understand and get used to this new way. That's right. What the heck am I doing? My time now is worth more than that, and I don't need to do that anymore. And actually, I hated doing it, but you know, bad habits die hard.
Bless you. That's just awesome. And I just think, you know what, that's awesome, because it means that those stores you visit, they receive more money, they can help their employees more, and it's just like it's a flow-on effect of goodness. It's all good when you follow your bliss.
Yeah, and one other thing is when I go shopping now, my money, I'm more conscious of what I have no problem now. I buy everything organic now, and the meats that I buy them all humanely, whereas before I might have only done it if it was a good week, if we were okay with the bills or not. Now I don't need to worry about that. I make sure my money is consciously spent, and might be a little bit more expensive, but I can do that now.
Yeah. That's it. You can just invest in the things that you absolutely love, and you know the things that are right for you, because you now have choices and freedom, and that's all that abundance is. Like, it's just more choices.
Yeah.
Oh,
yes,
bless you. Well, when you're doing such big work, and I love talking to you, and I love sharing your story out with all of the people who are listening, because you said some really big things, and one of them is that you implement everything that you get told to do. Even when you're not sure, you always go test it out and see if it works, and you go, oh, okay, it works, and you're really willing to invest in yourself and listen to your higher purpose and kind of give yourself that propulsion forward in order to be here where you are 3 months later in this incredible position that you are.
Yeah, it's crazy, and that's something I tell my students too. I give them suggested homework, but if you don't do the homework and you don't do the things that you're being taught, you do. There is some discipline involved in there, and there is some stick-to-itiveness and ambition is involved there, because you have to have a strong drive. Where that drive came from, well, I did a crystal grid, and I did my crystals and everything, so it really, amped everything up. But if you're not going to implement it and you're just going to listen and say, yeah, that's a good idea, but you're never going to actually take the action and do it, then nothing is going to manifest. You need to push it. You need to make sure you're doing it. If you're not doing the homework, you're not going to get as much out of it. It just isn't going to happen, And the other thing, too, I wanted to mention is our society has us kind of brainwashed in a way that we should just work really, 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 really hard our whole lives, work at a job, 35 years, do a career, and then at the end you get to retire and enjoy. And I was starting to see people, and it just like my eyes just opened up since this new year started, people that had been at their job, for 35 years of their life, and they were negative and they were miserable, and all they were doing was bashing everything. And I was like, is this what I'm headed towards? It's like I hadn't seen it before, and I said, that's not going to be me. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm not going to do that. Because what are you enjoying when you're done there at the end, when you're 70 years old? Where's the joy? You're better off just putting a stop to it now, even if you just have to take a personal leave of absence or whatever, and just get out there and enjoy it now while you can, in the peak of your life. Enjoy and do what's going to make you happy now. You can worry about working hard when you're 70.
Well, I think the thing is, like, this new paradigm that's coming through of, creative and soulful entrepreneurs is we don't have to have either or. We can have everything that we want. We can have our freedom. We can have our abundance. We can, live the life that we want. I don't work full-time hours. I'm always out in the mornings. I'm always at the beach. I'm always with my family, always with my daughter, and it's so blissful. And then I spend a few hours in the afternoon doing the things that I need to get done, and it's such a joy, and like it's like my own little creative hobby time, really. And yet it totally feeds and nourishes my whole family, and it's the most incredible opportunity ever to live your dreams fully and thoroughly, at whatever age you want it to be.
Well, that's the part I'm going to be coming to you for level 2 for, is to figure out how to
Level 2, awesome.
Just work in the afternoon.
Really, it's such a healthy way of doing it. It's so kind of in balance, and it's amazing what a difference it makes to your lifestyle. So happy to take you to level 2, darling.
Okay, great.
Awesome. So for anybody who's out there who's still kind of feeling on the fence about what they need to do in order to kind of bring their business to the level that they want it to be and help the numbers of people that they want to help, what's your recommendation to them to get them there as quickly and easily as possible?
Number one recommendation, get a coach. Get a coach that you resonate with, who, like I did with you, whose energy speaks to you. Because, there's a lot of very businessy, three-piece suit type of coaches out there that are very, what you think of as a typical entrepreneur. And that might appeal and resonate to some people out there, but I'm thinking, if you're a very creative type, or spiritual type. I mean, I maybe that's why I never thought about getting a coach before, because none of them really synced up with me. But as soon as I found you, the one thing I thought in my head was, wow, I wish she would do some kind of coaching. And at the time, I didn't know that you had done anything like that. And then you posted it one day on your blog, and I jumped on it, man. Oh, I said, this is it, because you spoke my lingo. And I knew you would understand me and what I did and my students and the crystal healing and all of that. And, once you eliminate that fear, too, that people aren't going to understand you, that all goes out the window. It's like a confidence builder, and you got me right away. So I say the number one thing is find a coach and stop trying to do it yourself, and trying to figure it out yourself, and trying to, rack up all the used books and everything, because the time you spend reading those books, although there might be some good information here and there, it's not worth nearly as much, and you're not going to spend as much time going through. I mean, think about the time you put into reading those books and trying to glean something from it that's going to work for your business. Your time is money when you're doing that also. When, what was it, an hour phone call, 2 hours, I think, maybe at the most? Yeah. I gave me loads of information, loads and loads of information that I could not, it was invaluable, priceless.
Yeah, beautiful. I'm just so excited to see how you took it and ran with it, and how your business and your life transformed, so rapidly. It felt like it was overnight.
Completely.